going on, Tricology family, and welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. Now, for y'all, for today, we got a fire episode for y'all today. Some of these topics I'm gonna have a lot of rant on, but it's gonna be good. So, not only do we have the mainstream news for y'all, we're gonna be discussing Disney and Universal as part of our theme park news report, and we got three movie reviews for y'all today. So let's not waste time. Let's get started with some of our mainstream news for y'all today. So our first thing we're going to talk about is James Gunn confirms that Nathan Fillion, Green Lantern, is an entire new DCU. So, in case y'all haven't heard the news, that we will see Green Lantern in the new Superman Legacy. So, James Gunn had put out a tweet regarding to Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern, and he says, "The Green Lantern show is not separate. Nate will play Guy in all parts of the DCU. So, my question is, when we do get a Green Lantern show, are we going to see John Stewart and the other Green Lanterns?" So, that's what I'm getting at. So, this is just my prediction. So, when we see Nate's version of the Green Lantern in Superman Legacy, so hopefully that will like build up and set up towards the Green Lantern show. But that's just my prediction. We'll just have to wait and see till we get to 2025 when Superman Legacy open up in theaters. So that's just my prediction there. But moving forward, The Little Mermaid becomes barely profitable. Let's see how much it made in the box office now. And now we're gonna break down on how much the production, excuse me, the production cost was, the marketing cost was, and how much they need to break even. So, the production cost of the movie was $246 million. The marketing was $120 million. So, with that in mind, in order to break the even mark, they had to make it to $549 million. Now, let's look at the box office now, where it is now. So, currently, in the domestic box office, they made $293 million, and internationally, they made $260 million. So the total up, it made $554 million. Wow! They barely they did it. They barely did it, y'all, but they did do it. So the Little Mermaid, it is profitable. So it is not a box office bomb. It is not a flop. It is profitable. So good job for that. So I think I heard I forgot where I saw it, but I think I heard that they might do the DVD and digital Blu-ray release in August, if I remember correctly. Let's look it up right now, real quick, just to make sure on when they will do the Blu-ray release date. It will be, and they will pull it up. Release date. Oh, not till September. So they still got time. So they still got time. And then probably after September or during September, that's when they also will do the Disney Plus release date as well. So they got a good month or two to make some more money in the box office. So they're still good. So, but at least the Little Mermaid is profitable. So we cannot say it's a bomb. We cannot say it's a flop. Okay, so it is profitable. So good job on that. And moving on. Why can the new Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey can film and shoot while the strike is still going on? So let's see what IndieWire had to say. the SAG-AFTRA has to release a list of internal batch of independent film projects that have signed to the Guild's interim agreement that will allow these movies to continue filming or eventually start filming, even as the actor strike against the studios is carrying on. So let's look at some of these titles of what movie that can start filming or start shooting. So, continuing with the story, among the titles that have taken waivers is Mother Mary, which is an A24 film and top studios project from David Larry, starring Anne Hathaway and Michael Cord, and The Rivals of the Amazon King, a crime thriller that stars Matthew McConaughey, Death of a Unicorn, another A24 title that stars Paul Rudd and Jenny Ortega. They have also signed an internal agreement. A24 is not, I repeat, is not part of the AMPTP membership. So, the way I look at it right now, with some of the movies that's on pause right now, so I do expect by the time we get to next summer, we only going to get a movie that's not part of the union, and those are that very independent films. So that we can only expect to see those during the summer. But that all depends on how long this strike is going to go on, and we'll get to some of the news that I got for y'all, that some of the movies might get delayed because of the writer's strike. Well, we'll get to that in a second. So, but based on this news here, I do expect by the time of next year, we only probably gonna get like independent movies here. So, but we'll see how long the strike goes. Continue on. Christopher Nolan wants to direct a James Bond movie, but Williams said he will be in charge. Well, I do believe that Christopher Nolan can direct the James Bond trilogy. Now, given to a fact, even though James Bond is part of the MGM, but we have seen a James Bond movie have distributed from Universal as well, and of course Christopher Nolan has taken his talents from Warner Brothers to Universal. But let's read this article here. What it says. You won't want to take on a film without being fully committed to what you are bringing to the table creatively. So, as a writer, casting, everything, it is a full package, he said. You have to be really needed and want in terms of bringing the totality of what you bring into a character. Otherwise, I am very happy to be first in line to see whatever they do. So, I do believe if Christopher Nolan wants to do a James Bond movie, we would definitely see a trilogy, just like he did for the Batman, aka the Dark Knight. While they are still trying to find the next actor to play James Bond. I think Christopher Nolan might have some ideas, some actors in line of who should be playing the James Bond, but we'll just have to wait and see. But this idea sounds really good. But we have to wait and see if Christopher Nolan has any other projects in mind before tackling James Bond. But no, we'll see how that goes there. But I do like the idea though. Moving on, John Boyega is ready to return to Star Wars. Let's see what this story has to say. That a few years ago, so they are the subject of that particular project. Boyega told Tech Radar about his comments. But I am open to all characters and scripts that are enjoyable, have a great cast attached, and a terrific director. So yeah, I am open to all opportunities. So there you have it, folks. John Boyega is ready to return to Star Wars. So we already know that Daisy Ridley is going to be returning as Rey. because she also getting her solo film. But the question is, will we see the other characters return, and we might see a new trilogy? But well, we'll see. Hopefully, we get some more news on that. Moving on, Jonathan Majors is not completely removed from the Ant-Man 3 documentary. So, in case y'all didn't know, during the trial, Jonathan Majors, which he was innocent, thank God, they didn't have Disney was not reluctant to show anything that could concern Jonathan Majors until the trial is over, until he was innocent. But let's read this article here. What it says: the documentary includes a roughly 5 minute section dedicated to Major's character in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Kang the Conqueror, which includes footage from the He Who Remains variant from the Loki series, behind-the-scenes snaps from Quantumania, and interviews with the decisive actor. And then, let me see, continue on with the story. Although Kang was discussed in a future in the special, with Major speaking out on his MCU villain role, the actor and his performance wasn't mentioned or praised by any of the movie's cast or crew. So they had to cut some of that out because of the trial. So now that the trial is over, now he can start going back to work and being the big bad King the Conqueror that he is. So and hopefully we get some more news on will they be able to show his scenes in the upcoming season 2 of Loki. So hopefully we get some more details on that. Moving on, and remember I said that some movies might get delayed. Well, brace yourselves. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but like I said, brace yourselves. Dune 2 may get delayed to 2024. So let's read this article here. The sequel to Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi epic Dune may be riding into the sandworm all the way to 2024, amid the two continental Hollywood labor strikes. Warner Brothers Film Group are strongly considering pushing the Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya tentpole to next year from its current November 3rd slot. Three individuals with knowledge of discussing total variants. The film is co-produced by Legendary Entertainment, and both parties might have to agree on the new release date, says one insider. Legendary has yet to be approached by Warner Brothers by a move, they added. Another sources familiar with Warner Brothers said that the releases are moving forward as originally planned, and no formal discuss has been announced yet, but noted that the duration of the union battles is completely unpredictable. Now, Dune 2 is not the only movie that has been considered shipping the release dates. That Warner Brothers currently has 3 more movies that's supposed to be coming out this year. That's Dune 2, The Color Purple, and Aquaman 2, the Lost Kingdom. So Warner Brothers are thinking about and considering moving those movies to 2024. But like I said, it hasn't been official yet because we don't know if the other studios are considering pushing their movies back as well. We don't know yet. Hopefully we get some more news and details and a full confirmation later on in the weeks or the month that it might shift their dates. But I'm just letting you guys know, just be prepared if any news gonna come up. That's all I gotta say. And then our last piece of Main Street news is that Blue Beetle is projected a disastrous opening weekend. And now, this is where one of my rants starts. Now, we all know that Blue Beetle is opening on August 18th. And coming from Box Office Pro, the opening forecast rank is up to 12 million dash 17 million. Man, that's not good at all. So now let me tell y'all something. Even though I worked on the movie Blue Beetle, now we're gonna go through the last 7 DCEU movies. I'm not excluding the Batman because that is a new thing from Matt Reeves. I'm talking about the DCEU movies, the DC Extended Universe. Those are the only movies I am going to be touching on because it contains the Blue Beetle. Now, let's look at the last 6 DCEU movies. Black Adam, it ended with 393 million. Shazam, the first Shazam, ended with 367 million. Birds of Prey ended with 205 million. Wonder Woman, 1984, ended with 169 million. James Gunn's Suicide Squad ended with 168 million. And then Shazam, The Fury of the Gods, ended with 133 million. All that I just mentioned are either a flop or a box office bomb. And why is that? You ask, why is that? I'm going to tell you why. Because people have given up on the DCEU. They have completely given up. Ever since we got the announcement of James Gunn's new DCU, people have completely given up on the DC Extended Universe. And it's a shame. And I am just strictly pissed off about that. Now, granted the fact, we don't know if Blue Beetle is going to be good or bad. That depends on how the views is. That's on another subject. But the point I'm trying to make is that with the projection of how it's going to be making in the box office, and like I just mentioned, from the past 6 DCEU movies, people have given up. And it's not the filmmaker's fault. It is the corporation behind the DC studio brand. They be doing a lot of this, typing, all that stuff, instead of just listening to the fans. That's all you had to do. And now the fans have completely given up on the DCEU. Now, granted the fact, James Gunn said he never wanted to reboot the DCU, but his hands were tied, and all the corporation people was talking to his ear. I was like, we are rebooting it. So James Gunn got his hands full, y'all. But we can only hope that the new DCU is going to be better for the DC brand. Because if it's not, in the mortal words of The Undertaker, rest in peace. What can I say? Man, I got nothing else to say. But DC, y'all gotta put your stuff together. Because the movies like the Elseworld projects, like the Joker and the Matt Reeves Batman, that ain't gonna save y'all. So whatever y'all got planned for James Gunn's DCU, y'all better make it good. That's all I'm saying. But that's all the mainstream news I have for y'all today. So let's get into one of our main topics for today, as we're going to be going over the theme park news. So let's start off with Disney for a second. So I've been hearing a lot of news lately, and also from theme park YouTubers, that Disney World and Disneyland have experienced a very, very, very low attendance this year during the summer. And it's crazy that I'm looking at and hearing this news. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, It's too hot out there. It's too hot out there. I'm like, no, 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 no. Don't give me that excuse that it's too hot, because you could have bring sunscreen to help you with the sun. Bring some shades, bring some hats out there. And I know some people that be standing in long lines for the ride. They be having no complaints out there. Well, some of them might have complaints, but they're still willing to stay in the lines and wait for the rides. And matter of fact, Universal is not having no problems over there. And why is that? Because Universal is not dealing with the crap that is going on with Disney. Now, granted the fact that Disney has been in an uphill battle with Ron DeSantis with his craziness, but let me just say this. Now, looking at what's going on based on this low attendance, July is supposed to be the peak summer month where you get a lot of crowded people, and that is not the case. I mean, even though Disney it's still busy, but at the same time, there is no people. Now, one side of me saying, "Oh man, I should have gone right now," with the lines being like 40 or 30 less to ride the rides. I should have just gone on there right now and go to the parks. Don't even have to wait for an hour or 2 hours for the Pacific rides. I'll be good. But another part of me says, this is a shame. This is an absolute shame of what's going on. Being at Disney World as many times as I've been since my childhood, it's just so sad to see that the parks are not filling up as they used to be. Now, when I look at the Disney World webpage, I seen during the ticket page, they've been doing a lot of deals and a lot of discounts to try to bring people into the parks. Now, if you want to bring more people into the parks, then you probably gonna have to like discount everyone's ticket to try to get everyone in. Now, that ain't even the hardest part of this discussion. Now, the only reason that Disney is failing so much, that y'all remember when Disney made the deal and put up a lot of money to try to buy 20th Century Fox. Now, they are in the loop where they owe Comcast a lot of money as well. And it's crazy to look at it too, because theme parks were the only thing that was making the Disney money. And now with people having not showing up at the theme parks, now they're in the situation where they're going to have to sell a couple of their brands, because I heard the news that and a couple of rumors, and one rumor I heard was that Apple wanted to buy Disney. I don't know what's the deal there, but in other news, Bob Iger is trying to fix all the mess that Bob Chapek did. So it's a lot of messes to try to clean up. Now, and also with that in mind, Bob Iger is trying to sell at ABC, at ESPN, and other branches to try to like get money and try to pay off the debt that they own. So it's crazy, man. And also everything that's been going on for the past years, especially within the movies, and then a lot of critics going on from there. Man, let me just say this: Disney, they got to tighten up. They got to tighten up real quick, because if they don't, they're gonna end up like Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has been sold 3 times within the last 5 years, and they also in debt too. So Disney, I don't know what do you have to do or what you're gonna do, but y'all gotta tighten up. And it's crazy to say this as a Disney fan and as a fan of going to the Disney parks. Like, y'all got to do something to straighten out. But moving on from Disney and going on to Universal, um, the one rant I will say that there are some people that are complaining about is that Universal had upper their prices on Halloween Horror Nights, and that's what with good reason too, because Halloween Horror Nights has become the most popular and premier Halloween event when it comes to the Orlando theme parks. It is more popular than the Mickey's Not So Scary Party. It is more popular than the Hollow Screams that be going on in SeaWorld and also at Busch Gardens. It becoming more popular than based on the IPs that be going on there. I know this year they having so far is Chucky, the Last of Us, and the last previous season of Stranger Things. So I understand where they're coming from there. I know that's only one complaint that people are saying about that. But besides from that, let's get into the good news of Universal. Now, as we're still waiting for Epic Universe, the newest Universal park to open in 2025, we still got a lot of things to look forward to this year and next year. So this year, we're still waiting on a new Minions attraction called Minions Blast over and also they have changed everything from the land. So now we have a new Minions land. They still have the Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, and now we got the new Minions Villain Blast. So it's kind of similar to the Men in Black Alien Attack and also the Buzz Lightyear Star Command Alien Invasion from Magic Kingdom in Disney World. It's kind of similar to that. So they have started the pass holders and viewers are early attraction the look at. It hasn't given a full opening date on the attraction yet because it's still in preview section. So hopefully we get an opening date on that. So that's what's going on for this year in terms of Universal opening a new attraction for the Universal. Now, for next year, what we have to look at is there is a new DreamWorks themed land coming on the Universal side of Universal Studios. So, Kids Zone will be replaced. So, but let's read this article here that I got from Universal.com. It says, next year, Universal Orlando Resort will debut a new themed land inspired by DreamWorks Animation beloved collection of animated characters, currently being developed in the form of the Kids Zone location of Universal Studios Florida. The new area will instrument guests of all ages by very family-friendly experience that brings popular franchises like Shrek, Trolls, and Kung Fu Panda to life in a whole new way. So that is definitely to look forward to. And based on the details that I've heard, that we're going based on this new land, we're going to get a Shrek theme area. We're going to get a Trolls area and a Kung Fu Panda area. So, but I'm wondering, are we going to get more characters and IPs coming to the DreamWorks land as part of maybe a meet and greet and other stuff like that? So hopefully we get more details on that as well. So that is something exciting to look forward to next year until we get to Epic Universe in 2025. So But yeah, that's all the theme park news I have for you guys today. So let's get into our movie reviews for y'all today. So we're gonna start off with They Clone Tyrone, a new Netflix film starring John Boyega, uh, Tanner Paris, and Jamie Foxx. So in this movie, a series of eerie events that thrusts an unlikely trio onto a trail of a nefarious government clone conspiracy in this pulpy mystery cape. So this is definitely a black exploitation that type of film. So as I watched the film, it has a lot of it definitely has a narrative from Jordan Peele's Us. So you expect to see a lot of clones and a lot of doppelgangers in this movie, and also I saw a lot of narratives from some, not a lot, but mostly it's on Jordan Peele's Us. But there was some narratives from Happy Death Day as well. So yeah, those are the two narratives I got from this movie. So basically, it's like a low class community going against a government conspiracy theorist in this movie. So that's what I got from there. So, uh, John Boyega, Tara Paris, and Jamie Foxx, they was a great trio. So you had a hustler, a pro, and a pimp coming together against this government conspiracy, and that had to defend their homeland and their home community against. So yeah, now this was a great black exploitation mystery comedy thriller movie to watch on Netflix. So I definitely give this movie a B plus movie. So that this was really good. And moving forward to that, let's talk about Oppenheimer. So this is the new film from Christopher Nolan, and like I mentioned before, Christopher Nolan has taken his talents from Warner Brothers. So in case y'all didn't know, during the pandemic series, the pandemic, when the pandemic happened, he was upset that Tenet couldn't make a lot of money during the pandemic, and also when Warner Brothers did the day-to-day in theaters and streaming on HBO Max thing in 2021, he was upset with that as well. So, like I said, he has taken his talents from Warner Brothers onto Universal. So, and then this is his new first project for Universal, and this is Oppenheimer. So, and in this movie, and this is based on a true story. So this story tells about the American scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer and his role in development the atomic bomb. So this stars Cillian Murphy, Emily Blood, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., and Florence Pugh. So looking at this movie, so if y'all remember one of his previous movies, Dunkirk, where they had not that much dialogue, but in this movie, Oppenheimer, this one had definitely a lot of dialogue into this movie. And let me just say this: it is 3 hours, and I'm gonna tell you something. You will fear. Yeah, I'm gonna say you will fear. Now I feel. I'm so sorry. Why am I saying fear? Oh my god! But feel. You will feel those 3 hours. It's not like a 3 hour movie that the pace will go streaming by those 3 hours. No way. You're gonna feel those 3 hours because as I watch this movie, it's like a documentary. It's like you're watching a documentary, but with the actors playing those characters. And you look at like in the first half of the movie, it tells you'll hear like conversations like before the bomb go off, and then like after the bomb go off, you hear a lot of conversations about the movie as well. But I will say the first half, well, was kind of slow because yeah, we was trying to because some of y'all is just waiting to see like when they getting ready to set the bomb off, and then that's where the second half of the movie gets interesting from there. And I know this will not be for most of you moviegoers there. Like, it's not gonna pique your interest and but stuff like that. But I understand that. But let me just say this: when it comes to Christopher Nolan movies, it's mostly for filmmakers like me. But like, don't get me wrong, Christopher Nolan knows how to make blockbuster films. If you remember, if you've seen the movie Tenet, you've seen the Batman movies, you've seen Inception, you've seen Interstellar. He knows how to make blockbuster movies. Don't get me wrong, but this one here, Oppenheimer, this is more of a biological historic film, to put it that way. But yeah, and the cinematography, the editing, the dream sequence in this movie, the practical effects in this movie was absolutely great in this movie. Everyone did their roles well with the cast and crew. I think Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr., as I'm predicting right now, would definitely get nominations during next year's Oscars. That's my prediction there. But and let me say this: it's not your typical movie-going experience as goes for moviegoers. And let me just say this: it's not my all-time favorite Christopher Nolan film, and I know it's not. This is not going to be everyone's favorite as well. And some say that this is not Christopher Nolan's best, but it is absolutely amazing film to watch. And I would definitely give this movie a solid A for this movie to watch. And and also, I forgot to mention that there are some scenes that was shot black and white, and then some were filmed in color. I forgot to mention about that. But moving on from Oppenheimer is we go on to Barbie. So that one stars Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. So in this movie, Barbie and Ken, who goes on a journey to self-discovery following their acid crisis. So and then let me read on more there. Yeah. So before I continue on with the movie review, is that there was a lot of people, and I do mean a lot of people, when I went to go see this movie. A lot of people was wearing pink. Everybody and their mother was wearing pink. But let me just say this: I think all the women should have wear pink, and all the guys should have worn blue, because going into the marketing of the film, whenever they did the Ken poster, they had the blue background on the side. But that's just me. But yeah, it's cool if you want to wear pink as well. But that's just my opinion. I think the women should have wear pink as a representation of the Barbie, and then all the guys should have wear like light blue as a representation of the Ken. But that's just me. But talking about Barbie, this definitely exceeded my expectations. This was really good, as I was expected it to be. This was really good, and of course Margot Robbie, she was great as Barbie. She cannot do no wrong. But let me just say this: Gal Gadot was originally chosen to play as Barbie, but there was I guess she had to drop out do some scheduling and other stuff. So that's where Margot Robbie comes in. So I would have been good. Well, either one of them playing Barbie because both of them are good in their own right. So, but Margot Robbie, she did great as Barbie. But Ryan Gosling, he was the MVP of this movie. He stole the show in this movie, and there was a lot of people saying that Ryan Gosling has stole the show in this movie, and I definitely agree on that. And of course, all the cast members did their roles good as well. I can't leave them out as well. But as I watched this movie, if you look at past movies where a character or certainly group of characters or like a group of friends go out of their homelands or their world and they go into another world where they are not familiar with, that's what I got from this movie. And if you look at SpongeBob the SquarePants and Sponge Out of Water, if you look at Elf, if you look at like other movies that have had that same narrative of going from one homeland and going to another land where you're not familiar with, and you gotta get familiar with that particular homeland. That's the vibe I got for this movie, and I seen that a couple times from past movies. And let me just say this: before we had Barbie, we had, if y'all remember this movie, Life Size. If y'all remember that movie where we saw Tyra Banks, well, was y'all remember the Eve doll? And you remember that when Life Size had premiered on ABC, and then we will also see it on Disney Channel? Yeah, we had that movie before we had Barbie. So I'm just putting that out there. And it also had the same narrative like like in the movie Barbie did. So I'm just putting that out there just to let you guys know. But with that in mind, Barbie was a really good movie as well. And I know some people are doing the Barbenheimer the double feature. If you guys did the double feature, let me know in the comments below if you did the double feature, or did you watch one movie one day and then watch another one the next day. So let me know in the comments below which one, if you saw both or you just saw just one of the two. But other than that, for Barbie, I'll give this movie a B plus for me. But yeah, other than that, folks, that's all I have for you guys today. And if you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell when new episodes are uploaded. And of course, if you're listening to me on Spotify and other podcast streaming platforms such as Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts, don't forget to follow me there as well. But other than that, folks, this is Trico, and I'm signing off. Peace.